Hi, everyone. My name's Emma. I'm from That Shelf in Toronto. Thanks so much for taking the time today.
Big shelf.
I wanted to start just by saying how exciting it is to have so many of the original cast back here, particularly, obviously, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio. Can you each talk about kind of what they bring to the characters? There's so much backstory between them, but also just watching them bounce off each other in scenes together, what that's like, both kind of from the production point of view, but also as a writer for you, Dario.
It's a blast to write with and for and to these actors. I mean, it's like they bring an immense amount of history. They have chemistry that you just can see in a room. And you try to get that down on the page. And then with Charlie and Vincent, they're super collaborative. They're super kind of like, we all dig in together. So what happens is, I know their banter. I know how they interact. I'll do a scene. They'll come in and be like, here's what we're thinking. That always, I mean, it sounds ridiculous and like I'm blowing smoke, but it always makes it better. And there are sometimes with some actors, you give them softballs to knock out of the park. And that's writing writing for Charlie and Vincent is actually really, really easy. They know these characters as well as any of us. They're fans, and they've been doing these characters for now almost a decade.
It's such a great part of the collaborative process. I mean, this filmmaking in general, it's between the writers, directors, and everyone. And obviously, when actors bring their A game, it just changes the game so much, and it's such an incredible way. And so just watching them work and watching them just add a little flavor and turn to just the specificity of just their actions or movements gives so much to the character. Of course, they're very additive in terms of how they can plus the dialogue and things like that. But really, like, they just transform into those characters in such an awesome way. Even with Charlie, like when he is fighting as Daredevil, you can tell. There's just a swagger to it that is just so cool. And it's so much fun to watch.
And it's this thing where one informs the other.
Yeah.
Because like the way that Fisk speaks are those
Yes.
flat declarative sentences.
Yes.
And you end up, that's how you write it. You have to kind of change up your style for each of these characters.
It's poetic.
It's hilarious.
It's poetic. Dario, like the way he writes for Fisk is so fun to watch also because
It is not entirely unpleasant.
to see you again.
Yeah, it's writing for Vincent is a joy.
Well, and there's so many, they're supported so well by so many other actors and so many interesting characters, some of which we've met before, some of which are new. How do you kind of both work together to kind of find that sweet spot between introducing those new characters to people and also kind of paying homage to those fan favorites that people really love?
It's tough. I mean, that it's a balancing act. And I think that there's part of it is and this is like where you have to kind of balance genre expectations with what I call like world building. We have a world here in New York, and there's a world of City Hall, and there's a world of Hell's Kitchen, and it's populated with characters. And each of those characters, what they do has significance in their story, but also ripple effects in our story of Fisk and Matt. So the choices usually have to do with what does this mean for our main story, which is always kind of Fisk versus Matt and the conflict that they have with their alter egos. But then what is the story we can tell, a larger story we can tell about loyalty, about love, about politics, about honor through these other characters? And we found, particularly as we head into season 2, we found some real gold. We found some characters that were unexpectedly, this is where we can put this story that bounces off the Daredevil, but also tells its own tale.
That's great. Thank you so much, guys, for taking the time this morning. I really appreciate it. And good luck with the series. I really loved it so far.
Right on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great. Thanks so much.